guys, it's Coach Mo here. Time for another video. And today's Master Your Agency tip of the day is all about how to release underperforming staff members with grace and ease. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Mernice Oliver. I am affectionately known as Coach Mo, Queen Quiet Storm. I am the calm in your business chaos. I am the founder and CEO of Mernice Oliver Coaching and Consulting. We are a private coaching and consulting firm for women-owned insurance agencies and women leaders in the insurance industry. I've been doing insurance for 25 years and I absolutely love it. Every day there's a new challenge, there's a new opportunity for me to exact change in an industry that has really just become part of my DNA. And so today I want to share with you a tip about something that's pretty serious. You know, it's never easy to fire or release a staff member. If it is, you know, I've not found it to be an easy thing, but sometimes it becomes necessary. And what I found the greatest challenge is when I'm working with my agency owners is that we find it very difficult to release team members for whatever reason. We've built relationships with them. They've become part of our families for sometimes, or we just feel, you know, we have an emotional attachment to them because we understand their economic situation or their family situation. And so we feel kind of obligated to them beyond what is going on inside of the agency. And I want to give you 3 really quick tips about how you can release team members with grace and ease and not have to carry that guilt around concerning releasing someone who is underperforming or not doing the things that we need to do to move the agency forward. And so, number 1, when you've decided that it's time to go, it's the last straw, this individual is just not going to be successful here in your agency, I want you to take a time out and I want you to really pray about it. And so seek that higher understanding and that discernment because you want to be clear about what it is what you're doing. Because we have to understand that even though they may not be performing well in your agency, they're still people. They do still have responsibilities outside of your agency. And so you never want to make quick, what I call knee-jerk reactions emotionally. And so I always believe the best practice is first, pray about it to get grace and to get peace about what you're about to do in terms of terminating someone, because you got to understand it's about to impact them, or it could significantly impact that team member financially, and we never want to do that out of malice, right? Out of our heart. So you want to search your heart and make sure this has nothing to do personally, and even if it is, you want to be sure that you're in a position that you have peace with it and what's about to take place in terms of releasing that team member. So number 1, pray about it. Really trust that gut instinct about what it is you're about to do. And so if you have peace about it, then you're doing the right thing. And so you have no need to feel guilty or any responsibility beyond having this very difficult conversation. So that's step number 2, praying, trusting your higher being, really trusting that gut instinct inside and having that spiritual discernment to know that you are doing the right thing. All right. So number 2, when you're having that crucial conversation with that team member, you really want to stick to the facts. Don't bring up anything personally or, you know, you made me angry when, and this is what happened when, and all of this back and forth. That's not the time to air those concerns at all. I hope you've had a strategy in terms of counseling sessions with that staff member before, that this comes as no surprise to them. Once we really get to this critical point where we've decided to release a team member, there should be no guessing game here. They should already see that coming, because you should have already had a process where you've had several counsel sessions, at least 3, and you've, you know, kind of coached them, you've trained them, you've had conversations about them. Maybe you've given them a job in jeopardy contract, so they already know that the next step would be termination and release from your team. And so short of them being insubordinate and coming in and doing something or stealing or, acting unethical inside of the agency, it should never come as a surprise to a staff member that they're not meeting the standard within the agency. Therefore, their job is in jeopardy and they are on the brink of being terminated. So that's number 2. You really just want to stick to the facts as best as you can. Oh, and you also want, when it's time for you to have that last meeting with that staff member, you want to make sure that you bring in an objective party. You may want to have a third person in the room with you, someone, your coach, your mentor, maybe it could be an accountability partner, one of your colleagues, whatever it is, but you want to be sure that you have an objective third party person there to help and ensure that everything goes smoothly during that transition, but also you have someone there as that third eye, a witness as to what is actually taking place and transpired, because you want to protect yourself legally in terms of legal ramifications if things go wrong within that meeting. So be careful about that and never do it alone. If you can, maybe have your office manager join you. Never, ever, ever ask another team member or one of their peers to be part of that meeting. That should never happen. They should never be involved in that. And you also don't want to have that staff, that team member, to be embarrassed. That's not our goal right here. And so we don't want to put someone in a position where we belittle them in front of their peers and their colleagues. We don't want them to leave embarrassed or hurt. I try to coach my team, my staff, my agency owners when I'm working with them, that maybe you want to release them at first thing in the morning when they come, or at the end of the day when all the other 2 members are gone. You never want to do it in front of a crowd and make a big spectacle about it, because that should never be your objective as a leader and the CEO within your organization, because you still want to leave that precedence that you truly care about that individual. It should always be about their performance and never about who they are personally, right? So that's number 2. And then number 3, this one you may find a little off the beaten path, but what I want you to do something in terms of releasing in love, right? Because it's never a situation, as I've said earlier, where you're releasing someone personally. It's always about that individual's performance. And you've decided that their performance is not going to meet the standard within your agency. And so you want to release that individual in love. And so when you're having that final conversation, do it with grace and ease. Maybe even, go ahead and give them a great recommendation letter to be able to move on to that next level, or even offer to help them find employment elsewhere. It's just not going to work within your agency. So those are my top 3 tips. Number 1, as I said earlier, you always want to pray about it and make sure that you're going in the right direction. Number 2, when you're having that critical conversation, you're only stating the facts. And then number 3, you always, always, always want to release in love as best as you can, because I'm going to leave you with this one final thought. When you're holding a team member who is not successful on your team or within your agency, think about it. It could be an opportunity for them to move beyond your agency, to go out and really find their true purpose and their true calling, where they're going to really thrive. And so you're really hindering them in terms of their progression as an individual. And so we never want to be that person to do that. And so it's not that you're firing and that you're angry, but you're actually releasing them in love so that they can go out into the world and thrive on their own. So I hope that this tip was helpful. All right, so I hope this tip was helpful for you. If you want to learn more about this tip in terms of strategies of how you can release staff members and how do you release them in love and how do you train them and coach them and mentor them to be ensured that they're going to be successful inside of your agency, I hope you will join us July 9th for our Insurance Rockstar Summit. We're going to have every day, we're going to be talking to one of my rockstar agents that we work with, and we're going to be sharing with you some tips about how I help my agency owners, master their agency. And so I hope you'll join us. It'll be every day starting July 9th at 7:30 p.m. If If you can't catch it live, be sure to catch it on the replay. And we're going to do a deep dive in all of those topics that you want to talk about that are so important with inside your agency. So again, thank you for joining me today for my Master Your Agency tip of the day. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Master Your Agency tip. See you later.